Today we'll be looking at the few yet extremely remarkable instances of YouTubers solving cold cases or finding a missing person. Let's get into it. IRL streamers find a missing teenager. In the summer of 2024, FaZe Clan member and live streamer Lacey, along with his friend Clix, were IRL streaming in Miami, Florida. Everything seemed to be business as usual, with the two hungry streamers sitting down at the Starlight Cafe to eat lunch as viewers spectated.
Yo, what's good, my brother?
All right, Lacey, that was crazy.
Good, bro. What's good, brother?
While sitting at the table, the streamers can be seen interacting with a group of women behind them, until suddenly being interrupted by a shirtless young man wearing neon green shorts, the guy seemingly recognizing the two famous streamers.
Oh. Hey, are you sparring, bro? Are you sparring? Yo, you good, bro?
It's not uncommon for IRL streamers to be approached by fans on the street, but something about this guy in particular was off. The teenager wasn't making any sense whatsoever.
Wrong-handed dab up. You got a ball spot?
What?
Hey, he's clean. Yo, God is real.
I do this one.
What do you say? What?
Bro, are you good?
As you can see in the clip, he was barely coherent, stringing together sentences that didn't make much sense. While he was friendly, it was hard to ignore the eccentricities of his behavior, with the two streamers becoming somewhat confused. For lack of a better expression, the guy seemed kinda twacked out. At another point in the stream, a child, presumably a fan of the streamers, walked up and began talking to the group as well. In the background, you can see the teenager in the green shorts give the child a styrofoam cup, which he promptly took a sip out of. It's all just kind of weird, like what the fuck was in that cup? The streamers asked Neon Short Guy if he was good several more times, and then the mysterious individual eventually left after a few minutes of chatting.
Yeah, no. Yo, are you good, bro?
Am I good? Good.
You cool, bro?
Oh, nah.
They shrugged off the strange encounter for the time. Later in the stream, though, the encounter was discussed again after their cameraman broached the subject, mentioning the styrofoam cup that the guy had.
Alright, seriously, what drugs is that?
Bro, he gave the kid his drink.
What? What kid?
He gave the kid that walked up here his drink.
No,
he
did
I swear to God.
Where's the kid?
He walked away with his dad.
Wait, the kid drank out of it?
Yes.
Wait, what?
I swear to God.
Why did you not fucking say
What do you want me to say?
Remembering this detail, the streamers began to speculate the strange neon short wearing guy may have given a minor some sort of drug due to his erratic behavior, referencing that styrofoam cup that was being passed around. Eventually, the streamers would get to ask the guy about the cup, as he did return, with Clix asking him what was in it and questioning him on his intentions.
Yo. What was it? What was in the drink? What was in that drink?
In the drink?
Yeah. So you gave it to a girl?
It was Coke from Beacon Hotel.
Like Coca-Cola?
Yeah.
Alright, just making sure. You gave it to the kid.
And this is where this strange encounter ended. Lacey would soon re-upload the now notorious VOD to his YouTube channel on July 2nd, finding it nothing more than a curious encounter at the time. And that's when a strange twist unfolds in this story. Sometime after this VOD was published to the web, an email from a man claiming to be the brother of the teenager featured in the video was sent to FaZe Lacey, with the brother writing, "Hello, my name is Trent Coleman, and my missing little brother from Michigan was on Clix and Lacey's stream in Miami. He is not on drugs, he is schizophrenic, and he is 17 years old. If someone can contact me about this, I would be so thankful. He has been missing for 3 months and his case was put on homicide in Michigan." This was a shocking revelation, and after doing some research, it turned out to be true. Lacey would then post an email exchange and an image of the neon short kid to Twitter on July 3rd, his post urging people to contact the proper authorities if they had any information on his current whereabouts. He then linked to an article in the replies, which gave much needed context for how this had happened. Apparently, the neon short teenager was named Troy Coleman, who originally lived with his family in Flint, Michigan. Troy had been missing since May of that same year, something that was very concerning given the fact that he suffered from schizophrenia hallucinations, and he didn't have medication with him, though his father did clarify in the article that his son was not dangerous. The local police department had even posted about it on their Facebook page at the time, but no leads came up. It had gotten so bad that his disappearance was being investigated as a potential homicide, with his family concerned that they would never find him again until they eventually stumbled across the aforementioned live stream on YouTube. The diagnosis fully explained Troy's strange behavior. He hadn't been on drugs, he had been suffering from his condition. This fact actually resulted in Lacey getting criticism for some online users, with one replying, quote, "Damn, making fun of random people don't seem so funny now, does it?" In fairness to Lacey and his friend, the teenager's behavior was extremely bizarre, and there was no way for them to have known the full backstory here. If the same incident happened to anybody else, they most likely would have reacted the same way. That aside, the story seemingly came to a close when a day later, Lacey tweeted, "We got into contact with his brother and told him what hotel he said he was staying at on stream. He had been found and placed in a holding cell in Miami until he gets transferred back to Michigan with his family." In an ironic twist, Troy had only given out the name of the hotel he was staying at after being questioned on the contents of his drink.
What was in that drink?
In the drink?
Yeah. You gave it to him.
It was Coke from Beacon Hotel.
Like Coca-Cola?
Their concern of him being on drugs or like passing out lean was actually the reason why police got to him and found him. The Flint, Michigan Police Department made a follow-up post on their Facebook page thanking everybody for their assistance. However, one question remained. How did a schizophrenic teenager make his way from Michigan all the way to Florida, and why had he left home in the first place? All of this information would be revealed in an exclusive interview conducted by the news outlet People with his father, Weston. As the story goes, Troy had the idea of traveling to Florida in an attempt to spot celebrities, gathering up money for his journey, and creating a plan on how he would get there. His father left Troy in the care of his grandfather due to him having to attend an appointment. Troy then stated he was going to the store, which is when he began his journey. He reportedly took a bus to Atlanta, but at some point was robbed out of all of his money when he got there. He then somehow made it to Miami, where he was arrested several times for sleeping out in public. He never gave them his real name, which is why he hadn't been discovered before this. When asked about the conduct of the two streamers, he stated, "I was upset that people were kind of making fun of him, but I was glad that they found him, and that's the most important thing. And I just didn't think those kids understood what he was going through. I wish they would have been a little nicer to him, but at the same time, they helped find him and didn't even know it." In a case of just the right person stumbling across an internet live stream, that's how FaZe Lacey and Clix helped get a missing teenager home. Husband and wife YouTubers find a missing mass shooter. Fred McCoy and his wife Sheila are two history buffs who run an unassuming YouTube channel called Hatfield McCoy Museum Adventures. Their main claim to fame is their familial relationship to the McCoy family, one of the families notable for being a faction in the legendary feud between the Hatfield and McCoy families from Kentucky. Aside from YouTube, Fred and Sheila operate a small museum located in Liberty, Kentucky, dedicated to preserving the history of the Hatfield and McCoy feud.
Hey guys, Fred and Sheila McCoy, Hatfield McCoy Museum, fredmccoy.com. Sheila's behind the camera.
Hi guys, hope you're having a great day.
Their videos were often centered around explaining the history of the conflict, but it took an abrupt turn in the summer of 2024 after a tragedy struck the local community.
And we move on to the urgent manhunt for a highway sniper suspect. 5 people wounded on a Kentucky interstate. Schools closed, people urged to stay inside.
On September 7th of 2024, a crazed 32-year-old gunman by the name of Joseph Couch opened fire on numerous vehicles traveling down I-75 near the city of London, Kentucky, physically injuring 5 people in the process. According to Fox 56, who obtained an affidavit related to the crime, the man had texted someone that he intended to, quote, kill a lot of people prior to doing this. The article also discusses how Couch was no stranger to the police, with numerous crimes under his belt. On one occasion, all the way back in 2015, he threw a rock at a dog and then threatened the owner of the dog with an AR-15. He also was arrested after giving a minor alcohol and illegally spray painting public property. According to an article by NBC, he had also been honorably discharged from the military and had PTSD. This painted the picture of an emotionally unstable man, though nobody could have anticipated his most recent violent outburst. While his exact motivations were unclear other than wanting to kill people, the fallout surrounding the incident was swift. The local communities were terrified, with schools in the surrounding areas closing down as law enforcement hunted for the individual. This shooting was different than many other mass shootings that we've seen pop up in recent years, as Couch had actually managed to escape law enforcement in the time following his attack, escaping into the thick wilderness of rural Kentucky. Yes, despite the brazen nature of the shooting, nobody knew where the criminal was in the time immediately after it. He had escaped, and given the fact that the crime had taken place next to a massive forested area, investigators had no choice but to simply scour as much land as they could until something came up. Authorities would eventually catch a break after discovering Joseph's SUV parked on the side of the road. However, this break didn't count for much, as they would spend the next week desperately searching the area around the SUV for the deranged gunman in the massive swath of land that was the Daniel Boone National Forest, their search not yielding anything. They became so desperate that they offered the public a $35,000 reward for anybody who could provide information on Couch's whereabouts. And this is where the McCoys came in.
$35,000. That's a sweet little piece of money. We're going looking for him. We're hoping he finds us, but we're going looking for this Couch guy, Joseph Couch.
Joseph Couch.
And for the reward, I guess you could call us bounty hunters.
The married couple believed that they could help the police find him, with the reward money being an added incentive. They too combed the same forest as the officers, deciding to document their journey on their YouTube channel, jokingly referring to themselves as bounty hunters. At first, they had no success finding him, but this all changed during a live stream that took place on September 18th.
It's a good thing we're still getting signal. Guys, y'all might see me fall on my tail today.
And what can only be described as a freak stroke of luck, this couple stumbled upon the body of mass shooter Joseph Couch in the woods while they were live. The live stream opens up with the two explaining that they had spotted several buzzards and vultures circling the area, leading them to believe that a corpse was rotting nearby. Normally, buzzards are treated as a bad omen, but the couple saw these birds as a hint that perhaps something of interest was nearby. That being said, it's highly unlikely that either of them expected to discover what they would eventually find during their search of the buzzard area.
Sheila, what is that? Hey, I have got the flu. Can't smell a thing. Sheila, we're on it. We're on it. See why that ain't filming.
Back, it just screamed. Sorry.
Show them the stream of water. Somebody was asking, how did everybody go? How did her down here? Well, there's your creek.
Guys, if you could smell this right now, OMG. Apples. Oh, Lord, this is nasty. Oh, my goodness, this is gross.
Could just be an animal.
After about 10 minutes of searching, they came across an area with an incredibly pungent, disgusting smell, believing it to be coming from a dead body or an animal. Their suspicions proved to be correct. After roughly half an hour of scouring the area, the couple stumbled across a human corpse. In their minds, it was undoubtedly the man they were looking for.
Got him! Here he is!
You found him? Oh, my Lanta.
Joseph Couch had been found dead, and they alerted nearby authorities. The incident received widespread attention not only because the mystery surrounding Joseph Couch's whereabouts had been solved, but because he had been found by an unassuming middle-aged couple knocking about in the woods on live.
I had seen a vulture fly up out of the holler with something in his mouth, and I thought, well, don't call nobody yet, could just be an animal. And then Sheila said, I smell something, but all of a sudden I could smell it. It was that strong.
The live stream was flooded with positive comments, with one user stating, quote, "Troopers didn't find him. These two hardworking citizens did, and they deserve the reward money and recognition." As promised, the two were given their reward for the hard work and dedication. The official Facebook account for the City of London made a post congratulating them, stating they had been given a check for $10,000 and that they would be given the rest in increments. As the media hype surrounding them was at an all-time high, the McCoys also decided to post a video reflecting on the ordeal to their channel. While most of the video is them recalling already known details, they did include a heartfelt apology to the family of Joseph Couch, making it clear that they had no intention of being disrespectful.
First of all, we would like to apologize to Joseph Couch, his family. We did not mean to be disrespectful in any way whatsoever. I'm sorry that you have to go through this, and I deeply apologize.
While some might find it odd, it showed a level of genuine empathy that didn't go unnoticed by the comment section. At the very least, their community is now able to rest knowing the killer has been found. Thanks to Sheila and Fred, this mass shooting mystery was finally solved and the case closed. I find it also somewhat funny that the Hatfields and McCoys are still making headlines all these years later. Determined YouTuber finds a missing veteran. James Hinkle is the owner and operator of the Echo Divers YouTube channel. While on the surface it may not seem like much of a channel given its small following, Hinkle and his team have had more of an impact than most people on YouTube.
I don't have any premonitions or anything like that, I don't even believe in it, but this just checks off so many boxes and it's extremely accessible. It is a very good target, I will say that.
According to Echo Diver's YouTube bio, they use a variety of methods to help solve missing persons cases. And when James stumbled across one particular story, he knew that he had to do something to assist the family of the missing. Donnie Irwin was a 59-year-old disabled military veteran who lived in Missouri with his wife. On December 29, 2013, he told her that he was going to make a cigarette run. However, he would never return, and his disappearance was a mystery for years. His loved ones were extremely hurt and the authorities were totally baffled. No body had ever been recovered, and their searches had been fruitless. A decade later, Mr. Hinkle picked up on the story and decided to dedicate time to finding out what had happened, using the resources at his disposal.
When you look at it like this, the accident theory kind of makes sense.
In order to prove or disprove this accident theory, I drove up and down 5 Highway, looking at the different locations, and considered if a car was in an accident, if they could be concealed into some small body of water or inside of a ravine.
In an interview later conducted with Outdoors.com, he said he had gotten involved due to family members also being in the military, stating, quote, "People in the military, I hold them on high. I believe those guys should be treated with the utmost respect and helped when they need it." The man decided to document his findings on his YouTube channel, eventually uploading a video a few months after concluding his investigation on the incident, a video titled "Missing Veteran Donnie Irwin Case Solved." In it, he laid out his thought processes as to how Donnie had died. Apparently, after exploring multiple dead ends, he found something. Hinkle had stumbled across a small but relatively deep pond not too far from where the military veteran had last been seen. He was initially hesitant to fly his drone over the particular area due to its proximity to the airport, though he eventually decided to do so regardless. He used his drone to fly over the pond and obtain a better view. That's when he noticed a large metallic structure submerged under the water, reflecting back sunlight at him. He eventually decided to come back with permission from the landowner and kayaked out to the middle of the lake with the help of his team. After rowing over it and analyzing it with sonar, he determined that there was certainly something under the water, even filming it with his GoPro. A team of professionals were gathered to do a proper deep dive, where it was confirmed that it was in fact a vehicle. At first it was unclear what the make or model of the car even was due to how long it had been sitting underwater. However, an artificial hip would be found in the remains, all but confirming that it belonged to Donnie Irwin. Hinkle had solved the case. A statement from the sheriff's department was later released, thanking James Hinkle for his invaluable assistance, as well as everyone else who helped during the process. Irwin's family was of course saddened that the man was truly gone, but they were also grateful that the family had closure, with his sister stating, quote, "Wow, brother, what a special Christmas this is. Even though you're not with us, we know where you are now and we can rejoice because of it. I love you, brother, and miss you terribly. but I know it was God's will that brought you to us, and I know you're no longer in pain. YouTuber finds a missing woman in Hawaiian forest. Amanda Eller was a 35-year-old yoga instructor who lived in Maui. As you would expect, she loved nature and would often trek through the many trails Maui has to offer. On May 8th of 2019, she began a hike, expecting it to be an enjoyable walk around the densely wooded wilderness of Hawaii. During her hike, she decided to veer off course and meditate. Unfortunately, after she finished resting, she discovered she was unable to find her way back. Benjamin, her boyfriend at the time, immediately noticed she had gone missing and decided to report her as a missing person due to how long she had been gone. Authorities soon discovered that her vehicle was still located in the parking lot near the start of the trail. This was the first indication that she had simply gone missing as opposed to have been a victim of a crime. Strangely enough, though, she had left her cell phone and other belongings in the car. A search party was organized with one of its most outspoken members being Javier Cantolops, a friend of hers who coincidentally not only ran a diving company but also had a small YouTube channel as well. Her friend started a Facebook page called Find Amanda, with the story capturing the attention of the online community. Many internet users, most of whom had never even heard of Amanda, banded together in an attempt to not only find her, but to provide support to her loved ones as well. A GoFundMe was initiated to help fund the search, due to the fact that authorities refused to provide additional assistance after the 72-hour mark. Over the next 17 days, Amanda struggled in the wilderness alone, surviving off foraging, at one point even breaking her leg. While you might expect this to be too much for a single person to handle, she persisted, surviving day after day despite the hardships. Eventually, a helicopter operated by Javier and a couple of her friends spotted her waving for help down below. News of her rescue spread like wildfire as the community celebrated her return. She not only shockingly survived, but managed to stay relatively healthy, other than a few minor injuries. She filmed the video while in the hospital, thanking everyone for their support.
I have the most gratitude and respect and appreciation. I can't even put it into words for the people that have helped me, for the people that have prayed for me, for the people that were at base camp. For the people all over the world that somehow just wanted to be a part of this for the greater good.
As a show of appreciation for the outreach of her now large community, her loved ones held a barbecue cookout, where numerous good-willed individuals gathered to show support. When Javier and the two other men who were flying with him in the helicopter were asked about why they continued searching despite almost all hope being lost, they had this to say.
I just felt that, that she was alive, man. You know, I was pretty much telling myself or telling everybody, you know, if we haven't found her and we haven't smelled her, then that's because she's on the move and she's moving out, and she's just way farther out than we think she is.
All of that aside, however, not everyone was a fan of Amanda Eller. While on the surface the story was inspirational, some detractors spun conspiracies that she wasn't telling the full story. Many accused her of losing her way due to drug use, with others theorizing that she had intentionally lost her way in an effort to scam people out of money with the GoFundMe page. She would respond to some of this outrageous criticism in an interview with CNN recorded on May 28th. She started the interview off, though, by characterizing the experience as a spiritual journey, and also claimed that she had let a voice guide her, which ended up getting her even more lost. In regard to the drug claim, she stated, quote, "I get high off of life, and I get high off people and heart." This did little to satisfy her critics. Some thought Amanda Eller didn't grasp the gravity of what she had been through, stating she had been extremely irresponsible and could have easily ended up like Noah. This resulted in the woman posting a video in which she apologized and took ownership for her mistakes, saying that it had been stupid to leave her belongings behind. She again emphasized how much everyone's support meant to her and elaborated on several more commonly asked questions to dispel any rumors of wrongdoing. It was also announced that any funds left over from her GoFundMe would be used to improve hikers' safety on the island, which seemed to quell the backlash. 5 years later, she would do an in-depth retrospective interview with ABC News, having a frank discussion about how the situation impacted her emotionally. Recalling the various rumors surrounding her, she stated, quote, "Anything you could think of that could possibly explain how I could come out of a 17-day experience like that and be in a positive state of mind. I think that people just created stories so their mind could grasp the situation. But what happened from that, unfortunately, is eventually it started to take a toll on me." After the incident, she moved away from Maui and started struggling with mental health. I guess the traumatic nature of the incident and the publicity catching up to her. She would have to go on a journey through therapy and working on herself for some time. As of the interview, she thankfully seems to be doing a lot better, but has made it clear the ordeal continues to affect her to this very day. According to the article, she now lives in Minneapolis, Minnesota with a romantic partner. And well, you made it to the end. Let me know what you guys thought about this video down below in the comments section, and let me know who or what you want me to talk about next. I want to give a major shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys. Wavy Web Surf out. Peace.